Welcome to my NBA Chit Chat live stream where we're going to be talking today about basketball players and playoffs and who's your favorite team and whatnots. So sit back, relax, get yourself something to drink, and let's buckle in for the next hour and see how it goes. So, yeah. Hey, welcome. All right, my first two people finally show up. I'm here to talk basketball. What are your thoughts? Who you think's going to win tonight? Indiana? Think they're going to win game 2? Hello, Michael. Michael, that's crazy, man. How you doing, Michael? Who you taking tonight? All right. Adele, welcome from England. All right, from across the pond. Penguin guy, hey, what's up? Moderator, please. I'm good. USA. 8th live. All right, who we picking tonight? Who we choosing? Pacers? Yep, I was very wrong. Kevin, yes, welcome back. I was super wrong. I thought for sure Oklahoma City was going to totally sweep everything. Got 3,000 down. Brunson breaking his leg. New England. I am from New England, America. New England, America. Specifically, the good old Green Mountain state of Vermont. I'm going to say, hey, let's keep it all clean now. One. Yeah, I don't think Oklahoma will lose back-to-back either. I would agree with you on that. I mean, if it wasn't for that ridiculous shot Halliburton had, thank you for the like. Message restricted. So, yeah, just be mindful, people, of what you're saying in the live chat. Keep it clean, keep it simple, keep it on topic. Yep, Pacers did squeak it out. Yep, the Pacers definitely did. Yeah, I think OKC will win tonight for sure. We got 14 people watching. Thank you for joining. I would agree the Pacers are squeaking them out. And I mean, they did it. They've done it. They did it all series with everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's keep it friendly. Let's keep it nice. Are we hating on the Pacers, or are we hating on Oklahoma? Who are we hating on? Thank you all for showing up. Indiana does have a fantastic roster, and I've said it before in previous ones that I was actually the one team. I'm a Boston Celtics fan, and I was the one team I was worried about was the Pacers. I was shocked with the Knicks, but the Pacers, that was the team I was worried about. Steak, actually, I like my steak well done, well killed on the steak. Now, I don't like any moo mooing on my steak. Mhm. Oh, oh no, it's all good. It's all good. It's just one of those weird things. Some people like it just a little bit cooked on each side when it comes to their steaks. But for me, I am a well done piece of leather steak. No, I was surprised. I even said it. I said it in my last someone rejoining from one of my other streams. I said it before. I thought OKC was gonna sweep them. Like I did not think that that Indiana was gonna even squeak out a win. And lo and behold, I mean, here we are tonight, game two. So what do we think about this backdrop here? Most points scored by the 2018 draft class. I mean, Luca, obviously, we all hear about Luca, but Trey Young. I mean, I didn't realize because I don't follow the Atlanta at all, but I didn't realize how many points Trey Young has put up. I mean, he's not that far behind Luca. So when I saw this the other day, I was like, man. I mean, what? I didn't think he was. I don't know. I mean, I knew the guy could score, but yeah, man, Halliburton be pulling out some magic magician stuff for sure. I, I'm dubbing him the magic magician. Anybody ever watch that cartoon Yu-Gi-Oh? When that dude he goes into his little deck of cards and he's like, "Magic magician, I choose you." Halliburton is like straight up the magic magician. Yep, that is my take. He is straight up magic. But you know what though? Like next year, it might not have that same type of magic. Sometimes they got that momentum and they ride that momentum and they got that confidence and that swagger. And yeah, he's baby Jordan. Nah. I'll bring up that baby Jordan. That's a good. I never heard that one. That's good. That's unique. Right on. Thanks everybody for showing up. Wow, got 19 of you today. Thanks for all those thumbs up, by the way. I'm like 10 minutes in, and this is like the most people I've ever had watching. That's fantastic on my end. So thank you for showing up. We're talking basketball. Make sure you smash that like button. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Gotta do my plugs every once in a while. Yep. Happy Sunday. Yes, happy Sunday, Danielle. Danielle with the sports highlights. Think there's gonna be some good highlights tonight? Hey man, I'm always here to spread positivity. You know, I think more people just need to be more positive, just in general. You know, not to say I ain't never negative, but you know, be kind, rewind, hold the door for somebody, be nice. That's all. It don't take a whole lot to be nice. I know sometimes it can be frustrating, but remember when TB12 made football? Yep, sure did. Oh yeah. That's the only reason why I got a Tampa Bay hat, to be honest with you. I do like the logo, but yeah, man. I mean, Tampa Bay, if it wasn't for Brady going down to Tampa, I mean, they were kind of irrelevant. I think it was like early 2000s with Warren Sapp. And they got to the Super Bowl then. I don't think they won, though. I don't know if they won with Warren Sapp. I can't remember. But I like the logo more than anything else. And Baker Mayfield's a solid quarterback. Let's see. Salute. Nice. Hood TMZ podcast. Right on, bro. Thanks. Thanks for that compliment, dude. Free, I don't know what. Okay. Tampa's defense was amazing. It was, and with Brady, when Brady was there, they got the Super Bowl. First year out too. That's impressive. But after that, I mean, I think he could have played a couple more years, to be honest. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss. Oh, I'm a Randy Moss guy. Randy Moss. I mean, Jerry Rice was good, but he even admitted to cheating. Say he always used to spray his gloves with stickum and whatnots. But yeah, John. I gotta go. I gotta go, Randy Moss. If I gotta pick somebody, you're not saying nothing against Jerry Rice and when he played on the Niners, the 49ers, but I mean, yeah. Who you got to pick, John? Who are you picking? Who are you going with? I feel like you're going with Rice. Jerry, you think you're going with Jerry? I mean, he's the all-time great. He is one of the all-time. Hey, thanks for that extra like there. My goal is to hopefully be on for the next hour and hit at least 20 likes. I got 24 people watching right now, which is wild for me because normally I can't barely sometimes squeak one person, but and the chat log right now is fantastic. Jerry Rice is the best player to ever put the uniform on. Yeah, he's good. He is great. That dude could find his way. He had magic hands when it came to grabbing the football. Plus, he also had Steve Young. Did he have Joe Montana? I don't think he had. He had Young. Did he have Montana? I can't remember. Did he have Montana too, or did he just have Young? I don't remember. Someone comment. Who I know he had at least Steve Young throwing to him. Don't remember if Montana tossed to him or not either. I can't recall. Moss all day. All right. Best player ever, yeah. It's missing. Do basketball stuff. But So what are the? I mean, right now, obviously, Halliburton and Pascal Siakam are probably the, two of the bigger names on the Indiana Pacers. Um, and they're playing good basketball. I mean, I'm not an Indiana fan in general, so I cannot, off the top of my head, give you every single in and out of all the players. Um, but yeah, they're a good team, and they seem to pull it out. They have a decent bench, which gives them just the right amount of numbers that you want from a bench team. A lot of the teams in the NBA, their benches are not good, and it shows because once they have to go to their bench, the numbers sometimes are dismal. I think like the Lakers bench, for instance, is not good. And yeah, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, I'm pretty chill. Yeah, I'm pretty chill, dude. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to be. Hi from Scotland. Rory, I feel like you have joined my stream before, or just a different person from Scotland, but I feel like you have been here before. So welcome back. Am I a basketball player? You know what? Yes, I am not very tall. I played point guard, shooting guard, through high school. Um, I was asked to play in college, but had a hard pass because I was like, I just didn't want to sit the bench, and it was only Division III basketball in college, but I did play all through high school. Yep. No, my stats and numbers weren't anything impressive, but we had a guy on my team who ended up getting recruited to UConn, early 2000s, late 90s. So, uh, what's popping? We talking basketball. Yeah, I probably do need glasses. I'll be honest with you, SC. I probably do need glasses. And I keep saying it, but yep, I need to make that eye appointment. Plus, I'm doing it on my phone here, and little screen, and it's little text. So I got to keep looking forward. Sorry about that. Yeah, I even think if I had glasses, I don't think it would help all that much because it's a very tiny print. So that's why I keep leaning forward to read. I have an old iPad, but it won't like do a live stream. I don't think it's like got the capabilities or anything, which is unfortunate. Oh, the best shooter? Oh, is definitely Steph Curry. I mean, Steph Curry is definitely the best. Well, he's the best 3-point shooter of all time, and he's made the most 3-pointers. And fun little fact that most people don't even realize: James Harden is the second most 3-point shooter shots made in all of NBA. A lot of people don't realize that he passed Ray Allen this past season, which a lot of people don't realize that he was not going to pass Steph Curry, but James Harden, he's second all-time 3-point shooter. No, didn't know that. Interesting. 25%, huh? Straight in my ass. Thanks. Yeah, yeah. I need glasses, but someday I'll get them probably. Kobe or LeBron? Oh, that's a good one. Um, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go Kobe. I'm gonna pick Kobe, even though I never liked Kobe Bryant because he was a Laker and I'm a Celtics fan. If Kobe had played for the Celtics, probably would have loved him. Not to say he wasn't a good player, because he was a fantastic talent. His work ethic, his motivation, his motor from start to finish was unmatched. And that's what partially made him so great, is that the competitiveness in Kobe Bryant was unmatched. He was at a whole different level, a whole different mindset. So yeah, I'd pick Kobe over LeBron. I got OKC tonight. Oklahoma is gonna win tonight. Yep. I'm going Thunder tonight. I don't think they lose two in a row, to be honest. And there was a fun little fact. Excuse me. There was a fun little fact that I saw. Like, the Oklahoma City were like 18-1 against Eastern Conference teams or something crazy like that. So for them, and that one loss that they had all season long was to what was it? Cleveland. So to manage only one win, only one loss all season long against Eastern Conference teams, it's pretty wild. So for Indiana to sneak out that, I mean, it's not in their favor. So Halliburton is very clutch. You are right. He is very clutch, especially when the game's on the line and you need those last few minutes buckets. Absolutely right. Welcome, everybody. Wow, 25 viewing. Cheers. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe the Warriors might have if Steph didn't get injured. And I will admit, when the Warriors got Jimmy buckets in that trade with Miami, that was a game changer for the Warriors, 100%. Like, that changed everything about the Warriors makeup. But they're not. I don't believe they're championship caliber team. Maybe next season with like some pieces they get in a rotation or something like that. But I think they need like one or two trades, and then the Warriors might be, more of a championship caliber team. But yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, SGA. He is not a bad player at all, man. I mean, he's a league MVP. First off, guy knows how to draw a foul, get to the foul line, gets the buckets when he needs them. As for Giannis, yeah, I guess there was a report that they met with him today or yesterday. There was really no talk about trades or anything like that. They're still Milwaukee's still dedicated to him, I believe, and trying to build around him. It's unfortunate now they got Damian Lillard, and we know it's not Damian Lillard of Portland. He's still got value and still has worth, but he's not the same player as he was when he was in Portland. I mean, he wasted all his years in Portland. He should have got out when he had that opportunity years back when his contract was up, but he chose to sign with Portland, and they did absolutely nothing with him. So. Yeah. I mean, and he didn't even have that great of a game. Yep. He didn't even have that great of a game, to be honest. But we'll see what happens tonight, right? We'll see. Will he come back and with some revenge and do it to it, or we'll see. What do you think? Think the Lakers are gonna stack it around LeBron and Luka? What do you think? Think they should shop LeBron? That's correct. Yeah, I believe like the days of the big three are kind of washed. I don't think the big three gets it done anymore. I think you need to have a solid two, and then you need to have some decent role players around those two, and then you need to have a good solid bench. Like your bench needs to come off and give you that 12, 15, 16 points. And not just one guy, but like a couple of guys need to give you that 8 to 16 points off the bench with all sorts of other stuff. I think that's what builds the championship teams these now. The era of the big three, I think that's kind of old school thinking. Oh, I'll go Steph Curry, but I like John Morant. I think he's fun to watch. He's real explosive. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Derrick Rose, just attacking the rim, all this and that. But he gets in too much trouble outside of basketball, and he was supposed to. They were trying to push him to be like the next face of the NBA, because Curry and LeBron and Durant and all these guys that have been the face of the league forever are getting old. And the NBA is desperately looking for that next player. And until all those guys retire, those guys are the face of the league. Like that, they're the face of the league until they're done. And then other guys will be able to step up and be like, "Yep, I'm the face of the league now." Irving or James Harden? I mean, Kyrie Irving's got some of the best handles of all time, but I personally prefer the bearded wonder, James Harden. But that's just me. Yeah, the Pacers the last few years have been a really solid team, and they've made a lot of smart moves with their players, and trading certain guys away and getting other guys in. So the Indiana Pacers are one of those teams that they want to win. They want to be relevant. They just don't want to be the back burner of the NBA, or they're not satisfied with just a simple status quo of barely making the playoffs. Yep, he's his own worst enemy. Yeah, I would agree. And then he's in the game and he's trying to like pretend to like throw grenades or something like that, and then he's like, "Oh, we're gonna fight." I mean, it didn't even look like a good celebration. And I'm one of those ones that just get the points, get back, play defense. I don't care. I don't want you celebrating. I don't need all that other stuff. I just want you to play hard and get some points and win the game. I don't need all that other fluff. Ah, that's just me. Three different. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the three-player thing can work. Yeah, the 2008 Celtics are a great example of that. But the problem with the big three is the big three comes with a big ticket price, and it balloons out the salaries, and everybody wants a super max, and you got to pay over the tax cap. So unless you got a big three, and then you got a lot of cheap players who are good, yeah, it can work. But I think the NBA, I think right now, the NBA has got a really nice spread of player wealth. What I mean by that is like every team now has some good players, some solid players. Whereas before you're like, who plays for the Orlando Magic? Like, oh, they have Paulo Banchero. Like that dude is legit, you know. But before you'd be like, Orlando? What? Or even like this year, the Houston Rockets. I mean, they made a little bit of a playoff push. They had the second best record, I think, in the West. Super young team, and they got a lot of good, young, talented players. Detroit, Cunningham, up there in Detroit. I mean, again, another spread of wealth. Timberwolves, good players on the Timberwolves. There's a lot of good players on almost every team now. Whereas before, you're kind of like, who even plays for them? Oh, I'm going Iverson. That's Allen Iverson was my favorite basketball player in the 90s and into the 2000s. The swagger, the motor, the attitude. We talking practice? We talking about practice? Yeah, Iverson always. Yep, 2000. It was a long time ago. It was. And thank goodness the Celtics have won since then, since last year. But there's teams out there, I couldn't imagine being a team like the Washington Wizards. And they are just so bad every year. The Wizards are so bad every year. Like, it's so disrespectful to be that bad and not sometimes I wonder, like, do the owners and the general managers even care about winning? There's so many of those teams. Like Charlotte is another team that they're bad every single year. Like, and they got LaMelo Ball, who's a fairly good piece to build around, but yet they don't do anything. I agree with decimated. Yeah, it does make the league more enjoyable. It makes the league more competitive. Of course, you are going to have those teams that are just going to run over everybody, like Oklahoma, like Boston. Those two, top teams. Unfortunately, I'm still crying about Boston not winning, but Indiana didn't. I can't say Indiana. Indiana really didn't steamroll teams, but Cleveland. I mean, you want to talk about an implosion of itself. Cleveland imploded on itself so bad. I mean, they had the second best the record in the NBA this past season. No one was touching them, and look what happened to them. I mean, talk about a playoff implosion. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, Muggsy Bogues. That was what, the 90s? Grandmama Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning. I think maybe that was when they were somewhat, relevant. I mean, they had Walker. Look what Charlotte did to Walker, though. They had Walker. That dude put up ridiculous numbers for them, and they did nothing with him. Like, nothing. They did nothing with him except get a lot of points and ticket sales, probably. And then they traded him to Boston when he was all broken. And then the Boston fans were like, "Woo, we got Walker!" And they were like, we're all excited. And then we realized, oh, he's like totally like washed up. Now, that's always a debate. About basketball. 90s, well, excuse me. 90s basketball is better than today, or everybody says the 80s basketball is better than whatever. I think it just has to go when you were a kid or you were younger and you really started falling in love with the game of basketball. Like, I can say I watched basketball in the 80s because I was a little kid then, but I didn't really understand the game. I just knew I'd sometimes flick on the TV and I'd see old Larry Legend there running up and down the court, and watch some of those games. But that was it. But I didn't really like, you know, whatever. But when the 90s hit, that's when I really kind of like started falling in love with the game and really started following it more. Plus, in the 90s, the advertising and marketing for basketball was astronomical. I mean, the Nike advertisements were made everybody look like they were a god. And I'm talking about Michael Jordan too, because the advertising they did with Nike and the Jumpman and Michael Jordan was made him look like he won all those championships without his team. That's what I got, right? I think that's what a lot of people say. And people always forget Michael Jordan didn't win until the 90s. He couldn't get past Larry Bird. He couldn't get past Magic. He couldn't get past Isaiah Thomas in Detroit. People always forget about that. They just think, oh, Michael Jordan. He is the greatest scoring guard of all time. Michael Jordan. Best scoring guard of all time. Scoring guard. Best basketball player. You cannot have just one of the best basketball players. He is the best scoring guard. That's how my take is. Yeah, see, you feel like the 2000s, right? So you were coming into like Kobe and Shaq winning all those championships and the Lakers. And then, of course, you had, Tim Duncan and the Spurs were like a top team in the 2000s like that. Yeah, I think it all depends on when you came in to watching basketball and when you really fell in love with the game. 2015 Hawks. Another team that's not good consistently is the Hawks. Mediocre. They're just satisfied with mediocre. I mean, if they were real serious, Trae Young, look at you, 12,220 points. You'd think that they would want to build around him, build a better team around him to actually get them to do something. I'm going, Bryce. I'm going with Oklahoma tonight. They're not winning. They're not losing back to back, even with Halliburton and as the Magic Magician. Oh. No, I'm not a Jordan hater. No, I'm not a Michael Jordan hater whatsoever. I just think it's funny when people say, "Oh, he's the greatest of all time." He won a lot of championships. Absolutely, he's a scoring guard. He is the best scoring guard of all time. It's like people when people say Tom Brady's the greatest of all, greatest football player of all time. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. We could probably confidently say that. There's a lot of positions in football, right? So how can you be the greatest football player of all time? He's the greatest player at his position. That's how I like to look at greatest players of all time. And then you can debate, like, all right, pull up the list of who's the best scoring guards in the NBA of all time. And at the end of the day, Michael Jordan's going to be number one. No magical shots tonight. You mean he's not going to pull a Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic Magician? I choose you! No, not tonight, huh? We'll see. Who knows? At some point, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I never call Brady the GOAT. I call him the GOAT for the fact he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Patrick Mahomes can be potentially hot on his heels, but I don't think Patrick Mahomes will catch Tom Brady as the best. Brady, and then not Steve Young. I can't think of his name. Not Marino. I can't think. Anyway, we know who I'm talking about. Bro never saw Game 7. Well, I mean, yeah, might have never saw a Game 7. Did they never go to Game 7 with the Jazz and the mailman there and Stockton and Malone? They didn't do Game 7? Just, no, I guess not. I don't remember. So long ago. Right on. Yep. So, MJ knew. All right, yeah. Like I said, I can't recall. It's been so long since I've seen video footage. Yeah, he definitely did not have a fast 40-yard dash. That is for sure. What's up? Oh. Let's see. Lawrence Taylor and Deion Sanders are the greatest football players to ever play. I would agree. They are fantastic football players and at their position. I would say I always go by position. That's just how I am. That's what I always go by. No matter what. Bro, do you have to do that right now? Bad language. What? Who's swearing in this stream here? Oh, no, that's just someone's comment. Bad language. There's no bad language in this. Who's getting bad language in here? Oh, JK break prank. I was like, bad language? What? I was reading that. I'm like, hey, you never know. Especially when you're live streaming. Especially if you're out, like, doing, like, one of those city ones where you're out and walking down the road and people sometimes say naughty things. We like to keep it clean here in this live stream, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate it. Notifications. That's a good one. That's solid. You almost had me on that one. I was like, man, what? I'm just like, come on. I'm like, I have the chats on scrubbers too, so keep the chats clean. I feel like all goat talk is subjective. Yep, I would agree. Goat talk is subjective. Yeah, it is a fun discussion, and man, oh boy, some people can get heated and angry and so mad sometimes. And it's like, dude, just it is because what do people go by? Like to say you're the greatest of all time. A lot of people just say championships, right? Well, if that's the case, then why? I think it's Bill Russell. What does Bill Russell have? Like 12 championship rings? So why aren't people saying Bill Russell's the greatest basketball player of all time when he clearly has the most rings? So you can't go by that logic. At least that's in my thinking. That's how when I saw that, I heard about that, I just thought to myself, this is why I got to go by player position. Now I know basketball today is a lot of positionless basketball, but that's why I like to go by like their position and what they're labeled as, because then you can really dig into championships, all-star appearances, MVPs, just pure stats, like what are their numbers compared to everybody else at their position, and then you can make that decision. Watch a 12-year-old play Madden. Oh, I know. Believe me. I've seen some of these live streams here, and some of these youngins, they're rage quitting even when they're playing Fortnite. Oh, who's my team? I'm a Celtics fan, James. True and true. Boston Celtics. Yep. You can't go by championships alone, but a lot of people, that's what they say. And then there's all the intangible stuff you got to think about. Who's my GOAT by position? Ooh, put me on the spot. Putting me on the spot here. Aggressive, yeah. Pistons fan. We can't be friends. Hey, Cunningham, fantastic talent. And you know what? I was pleased when the Detroit Pistons won that championship with Rip Hamilton and Ben Wallace and Rasheed Wallace. Oh, fantastic. Oh man, Tatum. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even know if he's ever gonna come back the same. The only good thing about Tatum is that at least he's not a super explosive guy, like a John Morant or a Derrick Rose, because he's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. I think he'll come back okay because he can shoot the three ball. He doesn't need to go hard to the rim. Who's your favorite Celtic of all time? Larry Bird's my favorite Celtic of all time. Relevant. Interesting. I think I'm gonna touch on that in a second. Hold on. I'm back. I would say so. Here's my take. I don't know if I think they would definitely duel it out with each other for sure. But I think his size alone could potentially cause some problems, and they would definitely be foes. I don't think they would be friends, and if anything, they would probably team up. Could you imagine LeBron and Michael Jordan on the same team? Instead of Scottie Pippen, it was be LeBron. Yep, Paul Pierce, the truth, fantastic. The whole thing about the wheelchair. Did you ever hear about what happened with that with the wheelchair, and then he came back afterwards? Did you? I'll tell if you don't know. If you know, say yes. If you don't, then say I don't know. I guess, and I'll tell the story about Paul Pierce's wheelchair and that during that playoff game, bro. Yep. I mean, yeah, he was. I mean, I don't know. All right, I will tell you the story about that. Uh, Dookie scandal. Yeah, you got it. All right, it was the Dookie scandal. Yeah, man, the dude was like not feeling good, and he like totally like, and they wheeled him off, and he had the old skibbity Ohio skid marks, and yeah, and then he came back and play it off like he was injured or something, and he totally like pooped himself. Yep, the Dookie scandal. Paul Pierce, he was good, but I never was like sold on Paul Pierce. Wait, what? What? Like last time you oh, I have no idea. Can't even press pickles anymore. Press pickles? What? I'm not really sure where you're getting at there. Flop champion never like Pierce. Yeah, he was definitely one that flopped. For sure. Is he a top 5 Celtic? He only got one championship. But he got a championship. And he does have some pretty interesting numbers. I would say, yeah, he could probably be top 5, but yeah, I would say he probably 5. A lot of people, you know what? This is a hot take. I'm going to give a hot take here in a second, but jersey retirements. My hot take on jersey retirements. I was annoyed the fact that the Celtics retired Kevin Garnett's jersey as a Celtic. Dude wasn't there to even 10 years. He won only one championship, and they retired his number? Have him go retire that number in Minnesota. Like, seriously. Like, that really irritated me. Am I putting? No, I don't do any of that stuff. I'm not that big of a risk taker. I don't do any gambling now. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Some people were introduced by Kevin Garnett. But to me, he was a Timberwolf. You know, they traded for him or whatever. Yeah, he gave and he loved the Celtics, and I appreciate that. He loved Boston, and he loved the people of Boston, because what a lot of these fans don't realize is that, well, players don't realize from other cities is that when the Celtics, if you're playing for the Celtics or the Red Sox or the Patriots or the Bruins, you are the most loved person in that city. Like they love you no matter what. Like, and when they play, they can feel that love. Whereas in other arenas across the league, sometimes there's a lot of empty seats. There's never an empty seat at a Sox game, a Celtics game, a Patriots game, a Bruins game. There is no empty seats. They're all filled, but you can't say that for every team. You just can't. He's Smart. Hope you're not talking about Marcus Smart. I never liked him. I was glad when they traded him. Dude was the lowest rated starting point guard in the whole NBA. And they traded him. I was like, good riddance. Get rid of him. I know he was a fan favorite, but wasn't my fan favorite. Chauncey Billups. Oh no, drove that anyway. No, I just saw this and I thought this backdrop was interesting because it had to do with Luca and the amount of points from the 2018 draft class, and I was kind of taken back by Trey Young. And then the also SGA's numbers are right up there because remember SGA was a Clipper. I mean, talk about Clippers making a. I mean, who would have thought? Who would have known that he would have turned out like that? And then obviously Jalen Brunson, Malik Bridges. But yeah, I'm surprised. I thought Brunson would have had more, but no, I'm not a Lakers fan. Mm. I play like Marcus Smart. Yeah, I mean Bird. I mean, yeah, I Robert Parrish. I never really liked Kevin McHale though. And then of course you got probably most of the top. I mean yeah. It's hard to start thinking. The '90s was such a dark time for the Celtics. I mean they were so bad in the '90s. I mean they were just not even irrelevant at all of the '90s. It was dark times to be a Celtics fan, and dark time to be a Patriots fan, and dark time to be a Bruins fan at that. It was always a dark time. But now, since the 2000s, Boston sports, man, the owners, whoever's owns all the Boston sports teams there, they're doing it up. They're spending that money to get some championships. All about the winning. Yeah, I mean the '80s, it was Lakers and Celtics, and then Pistons. Lakers, Celtics, Pistons was the 80s. Those were the three teams that ran the NBA in the 80s. And then in the 90s, it was the Chicago Bulls and the Utah Jazz and the Houston Rockets. Those were the top three teams. Oh, and then there was that small stint with the Orlando Magic and Shaquille O'Neal. But for the most part, the top teams in the 90s was the Bulls, the Jazz, and the Rockets. Those were the three top teams. And then you had the Suns kind of sneaked in there with Charles Barkley. And I said you had that one weird run with Orlando with Shaq. But Kawhi Leonard, don't even get me started on Kawhi Leonard. 76ers, should Joel Embiid retire is the real question. Should he just hang it up? San Antonio Spurs was like 2000s, and they owned the 2000s with the Lakers. I mean, yeah, San Antonio Spurs were the 2000s team along with the Lakers. I mean, Tim Duncan and all them, they got a ton of championships in that reign. Let me get some. I don't know if they are. I don't know. I mean, they can take Kristaps Porzingis if they want. Celtics don't want him. Oh, Kawhi Leonard, dude, I can't. If I want to talk about, and I'm going to say this, people are going to be mad. I think Kawhi is like one of the most over. And talking about people talk about Halliburton being overrated, Kawhi Leonard's overrated. I'm sorry, I'm saying it. Kawhi Leonard's overrated. He is overrated. Thank you. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard's overrated, man. He played on a Spurs team, right? He played on the Spurs, who had fantastic cast, right? There was a great cast of players there, and he was good. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a good player, but people make him out to be some magical wonder. And, and then he got traded to Toronto, and Toronto had a lot of good pieces, and they just needed one more piece to push them over the top. And he was that piece that got Toronto the championship. And then he left because he didn't want to stay in Toronto. He was like, ugh. But they just needed that one little piece because they had a good solid team. They were just missing that one piece, and he was that one piece. And since then, he has done nothing but sit the bench for like weeks on end after a hangnail or something. Please that's my elaboration. He's always taking time off. I heard someone said he does have bad knees or something like that. But I never bought the hype of him. It's like Paul George. People like rave about Paul George. And I'm kind of like, is it marketing? I feel like marketing plays a huge role in the hype around some of these guys, and it just everyone falls into the hype. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he hasn't done anything with the Clippers. And to be honest with you, when him and James Harden play on the court together, James Harden stinks. James Harden needs to be the man. He is the solo guy on the team. He needs to be the bearded wonder. And if you look at it, kind of got fame in Oklahoma, went to Houston, and when he got to Houston, there was nobody there. And he put up, his numbers were astronomically stupid. No, I said that. Yeah, that's true. He can't. I just think he's a better solo act. He likes to have the ball in his hands, and he'll give you the 30 points, 40 points, even more. But as soon as they did away with that, also that when the NBA cut out that little hook he used to do, he'd be coming around, and all of a sudden he'd get his arm in, kind of underneath here, and he'd flail it up, and he'd throw the ball up, and he'd go to the foul line. The NBA did away with that, so you can't get away with that, and you can't do that anymore. But he used to do that for ever and a day. That's a James Harden rule that got put in place, where he kind of comes in, hooks that arm, gets it kind of acts like he gets pinned in it, and throw flails. Yeah. I'm at 16 likes. I'm an hour in. 10 people watching. James Harden. Yeah. James Harden to the Wizards. Hey, he would love it. Right? He would be the man, and he could just do whatever he wanted. Durant and Chris Paul. Yep. I mean, right now, Durant might be getting shopped. I mean, teams are looking, and I think Durant could get moved. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Durant gets moved. Yep, the rip through foul. I'm in Jordan. Oh, trash. And the Wizards, man, not getting the number one draft pick. You know they tanked so hard to get freaking Cooper Flag. Ha! And the freaking Dallas Mavericks get freaking Cooper Flag. What the hell? Kevin Durant. I don't. Kevin Durant. He's another one of those players. I never really liked him. I don't really like him all that much as a player. He's a good talent. Um, and he's putting up numbers, but franchises want him to be the man, and he can't be the man. He's not the man. He's not the leader. He can't be the leader of a team, and the teams that keep getting him want him to be the leader, and it's just not for him. I mean, and it just doesn't work. As for generational talent, yeah, he definitely put the big man on the map with his size, his height, and stretching the floor and shooting a three ball. But the organizations, they keep wanting him to be the leader of the team or the face of the team or whatever. But he's not. He can't be. He doesn't. That's just not him. You got to have somebody who's he's not an alpha. He's not an alpha male. Draft lottery is such a joke. Oh, yeah. I mean, come on. Dude, the Dallas Mavericks trade Luka, get Mr. Glass, Anthony Davis, and then magically they get the number one draft pick. And I saw this thing recently about teams that have like traded away their like superstar from their team, and then like they got the first pick, and it's out there. I think a lot of it has to do with like when Chris Paul got traded, then Charlotte, not Charlotte, fucking, why can't I think of the name? The Pelicans there, they got the draft pick, and then they did another thing. They traded Anthony Davis. They got another first round draft pick. There's some like speculations on when you trade your superstar away, you get the number 1 draft pick. The NBA rewards you. But who knows? Yeah, I mean, Kevin Durant's a bucket. Absolutely. Like, I'm not disputing his abilities or his skill set or anything like that. He's a walking bucket. But he is not an alpha, and he is not a leader. And teams keep wanting him to be, but he's not. And he hasn't won since since he was with Steph Curry, because Steph Curry is the alpha. He's the leader of the team. Since he has left, his teams have not won. He hasn't won really since leaving Golden State. He went out to Brooklyn, tried to form a super team with a bunch of non-alphas, and it didn't work. Steph Curry, true alpha, leader of the team, face of the franchise. He's the man, and it worked. Because he didn't have to be the face of the franchise, didn't have to be the alpha, didn't have to be the leader of the team. Yeah, I mean, Anthony Davis, we'll see. He can't stay healthy. He gets one hangnail, or someone steps on his toe and he's out for like 6 weeks. Yep, Nets and Suns. I mean, the Nets. What a joke. What a joke they were. Couldn't do anything. Yep. And then the Suns. I mean, they all thought, oh, he's going to team up with Devin Booker. Nope. Came to town and they did worse. I feel like they got worse. Bronny James, get out of here. Bronny James. Maybe. Was that Bryce James? Bronny and Bryce James? Right. Ooh, 17 likes. Thank you. 12 people viewing. Welcome to the chat. Probably be on for maybe another 15, 20 minutes or so. And I'll probably call it for an evening. Plus, the game's going to be on in about an hour. A lot of people were mad at the Lakers for taking Bronny James. I wasn't mad at all, because realistically, think about this for a second. A second-round draft pick amounts to what in the NBA? A G Leaguer, waived, plays in Asia or Europe, maybe Australia. In the history of the NBA, look it up. There's like maybe 5 guys who came out of the second round that were worth anything. No joke. Jokic was one of them, obviously. That was a unicorn in the finding out of a second round. What's his name who played for Gilbert Arenas? He was another one. And then there's like maybe a handful, not even a handful more of guys that came out of the second round that were really something to the NBA team. So second round draft picks are jokes. They're nothing. They don't mean anything. So for them to waste a second round draft pick on them, it just appeased LeBron James. Like, who cares? No, Halliburton's not the truth. Well, you know what, though? I will admit, the other in the last series, Halliburton didn't turn the ball over once in one of the games. That's impressive. Not to have 0 turnovers in the game. That is some good point guarding there. I will admit that on Halliburton's part. But all right, Bryce. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, only time's gonna tell. Oh yeah, yeah, and the father-son duo, Batman and Robin on the court at the same time. I mean, come on, people were loving it, and it made all sorts of news, and it was all over social media everywhere. I mean, I couldn't even stop reporting on it myself because I do shorts. I do a lot of sports shorts on YouTube here, and let me tell you, I was like, I was constantly just like reporting on it because everybody was watching it. So if people are watching it, I'm gonna talk about it, right? Right. I mean, Shea's the best point guard right now. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the numbers look like. But like I said, numbers, and then you got to take into account how the team is the team winning. You know, what are they looking like right now? So yeah, I'm not sure who's the best point guard currently in the game. Okay, yeah, Draymond and Brunson. All right. Yeah, so the second round picks, you don't waste them. I mean, it's not wasted because most of the time the guys don't pan out anyway. Well, that's originally what a point guard was supposed to be. You know, originally a point guard was supposed to be the guy dribbles the ball up the court, dishes it out, gets the assists, kind of like John Stockton, right? That's like when I think of a point guard, I think about John Stockton is like my ideal pitcher as a point guard. The other point guard, even Jason Kidd, in my brain, ideal point guard. Who else comes to my mind for ideal point guards? But Stockton is like my first thought. When I think of a point guard, I think John Stockton because he was like pass first, not worrying about scoring. That's what the scoring guard was for. The scoring guard was worrying about scoring the points, you know? Yeah, Chris Paul's, he's a good one too. Yeah, Chris Paul's another good example. Like the guys who think about passing first and scoring second. Like, right, right. Yep, he fumbled. He totally crumbled. Yep, Brunson. But is what it is. Right. I mean, I'm not saying you can't be a point guard and score points, but like I said, to me, when I think point guard, I think about passing first. But that's just me. Oh yeah, Cat. Man, they got some good memes of him out there. Who's seen some of those ones? They're quite fantastic. Yep. Well, we'll see tonight, right? We'll see tonight. I'm saying no to the Pacers winning. It's gonna be OKC. Most people in this comments thread have seemed to see that OKC's not losing two in a row. I would agree with that. And we'll see in about 40 minutes when game kicks off at 8 o'clock at least. I don't know wherever your time zone is. My time zone, 8 o'clock. So that's about 40 minutes. So, right. All right, people. Well, I got 19 likes, about 75 minutes in. I think I'm going to call it for today. Thank you all for coming out and joining and filling up this chat log here. That's what I like to see. It makes the live stream go by so much faster and so much nicer when I actually get feedback like this. talking points and various things like that. So again, thank you all for that. Let's see, OKC, his face. All right, Indy. All right, we'll see what happens. Hey, I'm gonna be watching the game. Maybe tomorrow morning. Hey, oh, make sure you follow the channel. Please do follow the channel. Thank you. Appreciate that, Patrick. Put out a lot of YouTube shorts, so probably expect to see a short from me tomorrow on the winner or the loser of tonight's game. All right. Hey, take care, everybody. I'm out.